Don't ask me why I'm not sitting at my desk. I just felt way more comfortable over here. It's literally where you want to be comfortably. I feel like it shows on your face with anything like photography or anything. When you tell somebody to get into a position or like a pose when you're like when they're modeling for you, if you a photographer or a videographer, you know what I'm talking about, especially like stage stuff. Like if they're tense or tight or uncomfortable, you know that's going to show in their face slightly, and it's not, I don't know, it's easier for them to get in a more relaxed state, and their muscles in their face, or when they're relaxed, everything else is more relaxed. I don't know. So that's kind of why I sat here instead of my desk or anywhere. I don't know. I just need the camera and the light and me. Like that's it. That was way. Let's just get into it. Hello, good day to you all. Welcome to Realism, the podcast, a show that is passionate about the film world and all the universes within it. My name is Christian Spivey, and today's episode is entitled Genrephobia. This came from a TikToker. What is his name? I should have shouted him out. He actually inspired this episode a lot. All right, there's this guy on TikTok. His name is Brustre, Blue Stray, Blustre, and then I guess his at is BRUH, bruh, STRE. This is literally him. Can you see that? That's literally him. But he has a cool little genre-phobic little series that he's going through, and that's what inspired this episode. But with, like, in a world where film content and film movies are always constantly being made, and people are always talking about them, reviewing them, Rotten Tomatoes, Letterboxd, TikTok, I almost said realism, Instagram, everything. It's like, how do I stay and keep up with everything? The short answer is I don't. I am just not trying to compete with anybody. I am in a constant state of inspiration and entertainment when it comes to movies and film. These things, this art form, this creative expression, if you will, is meant to bring people together. And that's exactly why I love doing this stuff and talking about it, whether it's 4 of you watching, which is most of the time, but that's okay. That's 4 people that I'm either entertaining or inspiring weekly. Except for last week, obviously there was like a storm, so I apologize for not putting anything out if you cared. But um I did not know, literally the day before is when I found out there was a potential hurricane storm coming our way. I was like, how did I find so late about this, with me being like somewhat social on social media? I don't know, I thought it was kind of funny that I found out later, in like not too late. Anyway, we're all safe. It didn't really happen. Honestly, it didn't happen at all. There were some high winds, but we just took precaution, and I was more focused on that. Again, my life and my family will always be my take priority before this. But this is so much fun still. Like, I pick it back up like nothing ever happened, and I love it, and I still love it. Anyway, but back to being in a constant state of entertainment and inspiration constantly because of movies. Yeah, it brings people together. If it's dividing us, then is probably not the right way to do it. But the whole genrephobia thing came up, where he's listening to every single type of music that he just puts into a generator, and he listens to it, and he listens to it for a couple hours, and he comes back with his like top 3 favorite bands or songs from that list that he just listened to, or playlist he found. And he's killing it, like, and he grew and people liked it, and I'm just like, wow, why do people do that with movies too? Like, I don't want to be genrephobic to anything at all. Like, I love music too. I'm not really like deep diving into music like how I have with movies and TV and all that, but obviously, but I don't want to be genre phobic when it comes to any movie genres either. I found myself doing that a lot, and I just wanted to do this episode, these topic Tuesdays, and encourage people with just not doing that yourself, like as best as I can. Why is it important? Because I think it hinders you from discovering something that you may fall in love with. It may hinder you from finding inspiration where you needed to find it when you've been having either writer's block or having a hard time being motivated. Like I said, as long as there's movies coming out and people that are talking about it and inspiring me, like with people who have millions of followers on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube Shorts and subscribers on YouTube, for the thing that I want to do, I find that so inspiring. I used to be bitter and like upset that I wasn't there, but it's like it's just like you come to terms like you're not putting in the work, so how the heck are you even mad about it? And it's like I just reversed my perspective, or I reversed my perspective, and I just turned it around and I said, you know what, that's actually more inspiring than anything, or it should be. How do I get to that point? And it was just constant thought of like I want it to be inspiration, I want it to use this fuel, and they're doing something positive, because it makes me like it is positive, because you want to do that, it's like that's where you want to be. And I don't know, some friends are in my area. I'm not like this influencer whatsoever, but like it's really honoring and really cool that people are like, yeah, I've had like more confidence to start my podcast since I've seen you start a podcast, because like we have that one-on-one connection. And I thought that was really, really cool that somebody would say that. So just like when it comes to genre phobia, like there are so many films out there that have the potential to give you what you need in that moment of life. I know it sounds super spiritual, but it can be, because art is very moving and could be a very spiritual experience for you in some way or form. There are movies like that for people, and that's why I want to talk to these people. I thought about the approach. I thought about how people go about and evangelize. There's a whole world that I'm a part of, a whole, I guess, culture or community, if you will, like the church culture. Like I'm part of that. Like I guess fun fact, I guess, like my wife works for a church, and we still go to that church. I've been going into that church for over 10 years, and there's just like a beautiful aspect. Obviously there's like things that like I want to implement from there to here, not to gain anything, but for people to, what people do there, just share the love and just literally experience something you may have not experienced yet, that is free and open to you. Same with film. Like I want to inspire you. I want you to watch these beautiful piece of art that people put time and effort into. And if you're getting away from it and just like shying away from certain movies because of the genre it is, I can say that with horror film. I understand horror is not literally something you want to go out of your way and go into. The reason I get into it is because there's an even more in-depth culture or community behind it. There are people who are literally that it's really hard to explain, and I don't have language for it necessarily. And that's funny enough saying that when you're doing a podcast, when you want to talk about something specific. I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't shy away from that so much, because there are some stories that just, and there's something about just getting spooked or just scared and just seeing something like horrific that gosh, I'm not going to be like it's so beautiful to see something horrific. No, but it's really the experience, and it's just amazing to me how somebody that just worked intentionally on something to get that reaction out of you, and they succeeded, and they don't even really know, except they by numbers, and they're not really, unless they were in the movie with you watching it. I think that's an amazing thing. I think that's a very powerful thing, and I think that's something that could be used for the greater good of mankind. That's just my opinion. So when it comes to genres of movies, if you shy away from any of them, I would highly encourage you not to do that. It's not gonna hurt you to just dabble in some other movies, scary movies here and there, just to say that you did it. Maybe it will just open up an opportunity. Maybe it will create confidence, like just knowing that those things in those movies, some of them, not all of them, depending on your belief system, all that's a whole nother story, whole nother in-depth conversation that we can get into. But What I've found and gained from, this is just an example, from watching horror films, the more I expose myself to things that are scary and anti positive per se, I've gained more confidence in walking around. I've gained more confidence because I am more aware of my surroundings. It's not that I'm always like, oh my gosh, like what the heck was that? Like sometimes it is like that. Sometimes you just like pop in your head, but it's just like I go back and I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's just like that's silly how that's crazy how that movie got me to react that way. That's crazy how that movie gets me to check my shower every once in a while. But like also that could prevent something from happening in the future. I don't know. Being cautious is not something, I don't want you to be overtly cautious and so obsessed with being like scared and looking over your shoulder. But I think that's just really cool and it's a powerful thing and it can be used for the greater good of mankind. Again, um, but also in romance, you can just find a lot of like not confidence per se, but you can just find a lot of things that like just doesn't work in the real world because that's where you live. You're just like, and I'm not saying compare yourself and like thrive and seek something like that. If that's what you want a movie ooey gooey relationship and romance like The Notebook or any other 500 Days of Summer kind of thing, like, oh, I want to go through a bad relationship so I can find a good one. So I was like, no, no, no. I think like that's what that story was trying to tell you. Like you might have to go through a bad relationship. Might big underline capital bold letters of might under that word might is just key to that sentence. You might have to go through something in order to know something else, because people discover their value even more so in negative relationships. I'm not saying, I do not want that to happen to you. I do not want that to happen to anybody. But I'm just saying, like, you can take notes as far as like, oh, that's definitely not something I want to participate in, because that is definitely something that doesn't exist in the real world as far as, or you could just find cheesy conversation, or that movie alone can be a conversation to your future spouse if that's what you desire in life. Just saying. But you deny romance films or rom-coms all the time, so you have no idea what that movie is. So that person you talk to is like, yo, have you seen this movie? You remind me of that character in that movie, blah blah blah. No, I haven't. I actually don't watch romance film. Oh my gosh, you don't watch romance films? Why are you genre phobic? You see what I mean? Like, I mean, that's like a small point to a bigger picture of what I'm trying to say. But just know that there is just so many things out there, foreign films especially. That one irks me the most. Like, if you deny foreign films because you want to read freaking subtitles, now hold on. Now I know what I've said before in the past when it comes to anime. I watch dub a lot. I would confidently say 90% of the animes I watch are dubbed, unless it's so good that I don't want to wait for the English dub to come out because they take forever, even if you have Crunchyroll. Um, like Demon Slayer, I could not wait for that show to come back on, and I could not even wait more. Literally could not wait. I was excited. First one was excitement, could not wait. Second one is like, I literally don't have the patience for this anymore. I'm going to watch the show, and I would literally just participate because I love the storyline so much and the characters and just the beautiful animation that it is, that of anime Demon Slayer. I literally watched it in dub, read it, watched as much as I could because I'm like, what the heck, this is hard. But guess what, those things are recorded and you can watch them over and over again. So guess what I did? I watched it again. I know some people don't have the time to watch something twice, and some people can actually comprehend subtitles and watching their TV show even more so. I totally get that, but I cannot do that and feel good about it. And like, if I had to watch the subtitle whatever and just like move on and be like discuss it, it would be hard to discuss like visuals at least. But like, don't how director of Parasite, Bong Joon Ho, I believe his name is, he said, don't let a 1 inch barrier hinder you from a whole world that you can experience. And that's probably another pull inspiration of how we got to this episode. Don't let subtitles stop you from watching foreign films. Some foreign films have the best storylines I've ever seen in my entire life. Korean films especially, French films as well. French films have a weird approach, in my opinion, to a lot of movies, but a lot of those weird great movies are just because you don't haven't experienced that culture. And that could help you open up the culture. Because if you end up going to that country, that could be a conversation starter for you. That could help you probably do something that you shouldn't be doing in that country, probably like cultural norms or something that's part of the community, like, and all that. And then there's something you could just discuss. Like, movies are universal, like, literally. That's why there's a domestic box office as far as the US go, and then there's a global box office. Guess what? There's hundreds upon hundreds of million people seeing those movies. And that literally can be a gateway to a friendship, to a relationship, to any kind of relationship you might want to have, an opportunity maybe to live in that country if you do so desire that. Or it could just literally help you out in the future in one way or another. I'm not entirely sure. So being genre-phobic, being afraid to step into other genres is probably hindering a lot for you right now. I'm not saying deep dive and watch every foreign film you've ever seen in your life, every Korean film, every anime film, movie, TV show, every French film. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying every once in a while, expand your horizons, get a little silly when it comes to movies. We have a plethora of opportunity to watch these films. You have no excuse. You literally have a smartphone that you can type in and be like, where do I stream this movie? And it'll give you a bunch of opportunities. Some you might have to rent if you so desire to do that, but some may just be already available to you. I can tell you this, a lot of great anime movies, Studio Ghibli movies, are on HBO Max right now. Max right now, streaming right now. I'm literally going through as many Studio Ghibli films as I can. I think there's like 22. I went through my first one, A Whisper of the Heart, because I saw TikToker. TikTok has been really hitting on the movie niche influencers for me recently. I don't spend too much time on TikTok. I usually, when I do, it's the ones that my wife sends me, but my For You page has been for me recently, which is intended to do. But seriously, I would just highly encourage you. This is not me trying to convince you to just watch films just for the heck of it, but seriously, take a chance. Take a lap. Like, guess what? If you don't like it, you never have to do it again. That's the beauty of it. And you can pause it anytime, rewind it, whatever. Put on your most people put on subtitles anyway. I found that out like a long time ago that a lot of my friends watch movies with subtitles even though it's in English. That's okay. I don't think that's not my preference. It doesn't matter what I think. It's your movie going experience. It's your movie experience. But let me just say this. Now, I've said enough. That's pretty much it. Don't be genre phobic if you can help it. But then again, do whatever you want, because I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just here to inspire you and entertain you as best as I can, like these movies and these people have been doing for me in the past couple of months. I literally want to go out in the streets and ask people about stuff like this. So, excuse me, sir. I'm just kidding. Imagine if it just switched to me just like in the streets talking to somebody right now. That would be so sick. But it's going to come out soon. But that's all I have for you today. I literally love talking about this stuff on Tuesdays. These are going to be shorter episodes, probably most of the time. But just don't let that shy away from you from watching it. But help us spread the word. Share this with your friend if they like movies. And tell them, like, if they think I suck, tell them to tell me. Tell me what I can work on. Like, I don't take anything to heart entirely. Obviously, I'm not a perfect human being, but anyway. But no, I really want to know if there's negative things that I could work that people don't like about this channel or that I could work on. I'm all ears. I take negative feedback like a champ. Not perfectly, but like a champ. But take it easy. I'm not gonna cry about it, but dang, I'm probably sad about it if you're like that mean. But then again, maybe it's for the end. Maybe it's gonna help me get to I'm not a feedback phobia kind. Anyway, I'm done. Long live cinema. This has been Realism the Podcast. Thanks for listening, guys.